Good morning, D.C. This is David Wilk, and I'm reporting live from GridWeek 2010. As you can see from over my shoulder, the excitement is building in the hall as presenters and attendees are preparing to tackle one of the biggest challenges facing the smart grid industry. I'm talking about consumer engagement. You know, most Americans don't even know what smart grid is or how they can benefit from it. So I caught up with Adrian Tuck, who's the CEO of Tendril, to talk about this. What kind of technology are we dealing with that's out there today to help consumers better manage their energy?
Well, the first thing we've learned in this process is that no two consumers are the same. And so as we've done our studies of what do consumers want from their energy management system, the number one message we got back was meet me where I already go. So if I already use the web, give me information there. If I'm a smartphone user, give it to me on the smartphone. If I watch a lot of TV, send me my signals there. So the great thing about open standards is that you can use all of the existing products that are in a customer's home in order to communicate things about their energy that they don't know today.
Wow, that was compelling stuff. You know, if anyone has the consumer's interest in mind, it's the public utility commissioners from across the United States. I caught up with Sherman Elliott, who is a commissioner in Illinois, the Commerce Commissioner, and I said, hey, Sherman, what's the deal? How can we enlighten the consumer? Now, here's the deal. I will show you that interview after this commercial.
Marketers target them. Business cases are built around them. And smart grid success depends upon them. Consumers. While consumers are sure to play a critical role in smart grid success, nearly 70% of Americans have never heard the term. We need consumer education, engagement, dialogue, and understanding to ease the minds of regulators and help pave the way for smart grid deployments. But successful consumer engagement requires collaboration amongst all stakeholders. Vote for the Collaboration Party this fall, bringing together utilities, policymakers, regulators, technology companies, and investors to overcome the consumer challenge. Consumers complete the smart grid puzzle. Paid for by the Collaboration Party, not funded or endorsed by any individual candidate.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And now, as promised, here's my interview with Sherman Elliott talking about consumer education, dialogue, and understanding. How important is education and outreach? I mean, what are we dealing with here?
Well, it's paramount in terms of the smart grid. I think that what we've got and what we've all been discussing is there's very little in the way of consumer pull with regard to the smart grid. Most people don't even know they have a meter on the house, much less that there's technology out there that can fundamentally change the way they consume electricity. So there's a lot of consumer education that needs to go on. It's just a question of who performs it.
And I guess my question is who performs it?
I think a need for almost all of us to put forth some educational effort, be it the commission. I think there's federal responsibility, certainly the utility, the wires company, the alternative suppliers. I think many of the vendors, the GEs, the IBMs, the Honeywells, those companies that are going to provide the products and the innovation into the mass market have a space in the education effort as well.
Hey folks, here's some good news. You know, there are great efforts being taken in consumer outreach. And how do I know this? That's quite simple. I spoke with Susan Cashin, who is the Vice President of Control4. And how much does she know about community outreach? Well, she is winning the GridWeek prestigious Consumer Engagement Award tomorrow night. That's how much she knows. You are not only Vice President of Marketing, but you are very instrumental in the SGCC, correct?
Correct.
And that stands for?
The Smart Grid Consumer Collaborative, emphasis on consumer and collaborative. I'm one of several founding members who organized this group to really put the consumer front and center as we think about all things smart grid related.
Fantastic. And I take you take great pride in that. This is something that is on the top of the resume list, right?
Well, it's actually really exciting from an industry point of view. It was actually a year ago today that at GridWeek that the idea started ruminating. tremendous opportunity and excitement and potential for the smart grid and all it can do in modernizing our electricity infrastructure, but also an underlying current of anxiety around what are we going to do if consumers reject the programs that the smart grid enables. And it became a lot more clear to me and others in the audience that if we collaborate, work together to really market the grid to consumers as a consumer-friendly opportunity, that we'll all be successful in our pieces in the ecosystem.
Well, that's all for today. This is David Wilk reporting live from the floor of GridWeek. We'll see you tomorrow.